I bet you didn't know that the Catskill Mountains once echoed with the roar of industry. Welcome to Catskill history from the hills and hollows. If you walk quietly through the Catskill Mountains, you might stumble upon a hemlock hollow, a place where moss muffles your footsteps and invites you to listen. Sunlight dapples the ground, painting shifting patterns as the wind stirs the high branches. Look closer and you'll find stone walls, reminders of a vanished era when livestock supplied skins for once mighty tanneries. Imagine the quiet villages of the Catskills as bustling hubs filled with the clang of hammers and the shouts of men working from dawn until dusk. The forest we see today was born from the ashes of that industry, a testament to nature's power to heal and cover scars with new life. The loss of the hemlocks that covered the land is a story of destruction and also of recovery and resilience, a place where the forest, against all odds, has found its voice once more. In the 19th century, leather was everywhere in America. Boots, belts, saddles, and harnesses. It was essential for work and progress, and the best leather came from the Catskills. The secret was the eastern hemlock bark, rich in tannin, which turned raw hides into strong, supple leather. Tanneries sprang up, transforming quiet valleys into bustling industrial frontiers. The industry's appetite was enormous, devouring thousands of cords of hemlock bark each year. Entire mountainsides were stripped bare, as the fate of the forest and the fortune of the industry became forever intertwined. Bark peelers fed the tannery's hunger for hemlock bark. Each spring they peeled bark in large sheets, timing their work for when the sap rose. Using axes and spuds, they stripped 4-foot sections from the trees. The bark was dried, stacked, and hauled out by horse-drawn sleds. Only the bark was used. The trunks were left to rot, scarring the landscape forever. Before the tanneries, the Catskills were a sea of ancient hemlocks, towering trees weaving a dense canopy overhead. Beneath their shade, ferns and mosses thrived in perpetual twilight and cool, moist air. But this cathedral of nature was about to vanish, its fate sealed by human ambition. Entire mountainsides were clear-cut, the forest falling to axes and saws. The landscape transformed almost overnight from living forest to desolate wasteland. The forest's loss was swift and nearly total, a cautionary tale of how quickly abundance can vanish. The tanning industry's waste didn't just scar the hillsides, it poured into the creeks, turning clear water a dark reddish-brown. Acidic, tannin-rich runoff coated stream beds, destroying habitats for insects and fish. Native brook trout vanished as their world was poisoned. Once a source of life, the creeks became open sewers, a legacy that would take decades to heal. The Catskill tanning industry, once thriving, was doomed by its own hunger for hemlock bark. By the late 1800s, the forests were nearly gone and costs soared. New chrome tanning methods made the old ways obsolete. One by one, the tanneries closed, leaving ghost towns and scarred land behind. After the last tannery closed, nature began its slow work of healing. On barren hillsides, pioneer species like fireweed and ferns appeared first, stabilizing the soil and adding nutrients. These hardy plants paved the way for new life, creating conditions for trees to return. Soon, birch and aspen took root, their fast growth shading the ground and enriching the soil. The land was no longer dead, but rebuilding. This was the beginning of a new, young forest, very different from the one that had been lost. Nature's process of succession was underway, each stage preparing for the next. The barren ground gave way to weeds, then to pioneer trees. These were not the final stage, but a crucial step in recovery. The quiet rebirth of the Catskill forest had begun. As years passed, the birch and aspen forest matured, creating shade for new species to thrive. Maples, oaks, beeches, and cherries began to grow in the understory, making the forest more complex and diverse. The old hemlock forest had been a dark monoculture. The new forest was a vibrant tapestry of many species. This diversity brought a wider variety of wildlife: deer, bears, turkeys, squirrels, and countless birds. The new forest was not just greener, but more alive. The transformation from a single-species forest to a mixed hardwood forest made the ecosystem healthier and more resilient. While the loss of the ancient hemlocks was tragic, it created an opportunity for a richer forest to emerge. The new forest was less vulnerable to disease and pests. The Catskills were being reborn as something new and wonderfully complex. Nature's resilience was on full display. The land was alive with possibility. As nature healed, people began to see the value in protecting what remained. The scars of industry inspired the birth of the American conservation movement. Visionaries argued that forests were not just resources, but vital for clean water, flood prevention, and recreation. In 1885, New York created the Catskill Forest Preserve, protecting state lands for the public good. The Forever Wild Clause in the state constitution ensured these lands would never be logged or developed. This legal shield gave the recovering forests time to mature. The creation of the Forest Preserve marked a turning point, a shift from exploitation to stewardship. Nature's processes could now continue, unimpeded. The young, diverse forests were safe at last. The partnership between human foresight and nature's resilience saved the Catskill wilderness. Thank you for watching this episode of Catskill History from the Hills and Hollows. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more videos on Catskill history.